for me. Well, now everyone's getting it. There's. Oh yeah, there we go. That's maybe even just a little bit up, a little bit up, a little bit up, a little bit. Yeah. That's.
Okay, I'll try to be equal with you there.
Oh, I don't want that.
I'd like to give the formal shout-outs, as always, to Brenna Olson and the whole Zoomies crew at Zoomies, Alex Hayes and everybody at the Fuel Cafe,
Fuel.
Elisa Grassi in Las Vegas, Nevada,
That.
Bongo Billy, wherever you are,
Oh, bongo.
the Newmans,
All of yous.
all of yous, Liz, John, Theron, who officially moved.
He has moved officially. I was watching his updates on the Facebook. And,
Yeah.
And I learned of his constant moving. It was very exciting.
He lives in Milwaukee now. Aaron Stray in Wapaka, if you're listening to this. The Two Houses, Chicago. Out west.
Both houses.
Yeah,
Both of them.
both of the houses. And I believe that's all. Am I forgetting? Oh, my cousin. Obviously, my cousin.
Obvious.
Flynn in Prescott, Arizona.
That is an important
Flynn
one.
McNamara in Prescott, Arizona. And little Cassie Civic. And Fred Civic, too, if you're watching this. Hey,
You
man.
gotta give him the wave.
Yeah,
The
I've
kids
got.
love the wave.
I have this product in my hand.
It's delicious
This delicious thing. I'm not going to say what it is.
cola. That, that's. Yeah, you're terrible at neutralizing product placement. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
No, it's not on camera. I got
No,
that.
I just want you just now they owe us money. That's that's all we can do. We're gonna have to send them a bill. And I'd like to give the official shout out from my end of the table to anyone who's listening. Thanks. We need your support. Tell your friends.
We need it. We're going to have to start paying soon.
Well, you know,
I feel like that anyway.
I think if we
And that's
just,
fine.
if we rob a bank, we could just buy a radio station. The Dom Bill Radio Day.
We're gonna get some. We're gonna see what's available out there.
Yeah.
If there's any sympathetic ears to the artistic types.
Yeah. You wanna give us some money? We'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love money.
Though this may not be art, there's an art to conversation. There's an art to entertainment.
And we are entertaining the artful when we do it.
I think we do.
We do a phenomenal job, and that's
think we
not
do.
just me just tooting our horns here, because that would be gross. I'm repeating things I've heard from people who've listened.
Yeah.
So if you like the way we sound, you like the way we jive,
Yeah.
come on and jive with us.
Come on, drive with us.
But we're gonna interrupt this regularly scheduled portion of our show for Dom to read the disclaimer.
Oh.
As
Right.
much as we hate it,
Okay.
I can say that.
Here is the disclaimer. Welcome to No Frequency. My name is Dominic Wanzer. I'm the producer of this show. The things you will hear over the next 60 minutes represent the views of No Frequency and the people making them. All opinions and quotations in no way represent River West Radio and are the sole responsibility of the producer, guests, and callers. River West Radio is not liable for any legal issues arising from the content of this program. Thank you.
And again, any financial advice we give, don't follow it.
It exists only
Only in our personal QE3.
and the stock market of our souls. These are going to be really sweaty by the end of this.
Oh man, it's gonna be amazing.
I think I know that girl. Anyway,
Probably know that girl.
so what do you want to start off with?
I don't know. You want to start with the
The
delicious? Or
you want to start off with the big one?
Do you want to, or do you want to save that for the end? Because we might run out of time. And we
Okay,
wanna
let's start with the restaurant review,
All right, we're gonna start with the restaurant review.
which is just as delicious.
It is
Let
the
me-
most delicious thing.
let me
that we
promise
got,
you.
Yeah.
I've had some great. All right, this is about particular red meat. Now, I've had some great steak in my life, but this experience
Yeah, this was a time.
kind of, I mean, toppings take the cake,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
they say. So, Bill, if you want to set this up.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what was happening. So after every show, me and Don, we go and get dinner somewhere. So next week we'll have some new review. So we go for a drive, find a place to eat.
This is Bill's idea, and it's worked ever since he thought of it. Yeah.
We've done well. We've eaten, which me and Don were earlier just talking about is an important thing for me because I don't always remember to
Yeah.
eat. So this is at least one day a week I'm eating, and so we're driving and I'm complaining about some stuff from work because it's what I do, and we ended up in Brookfield
Yeah.
accidentally.
Actually, we drove a long way
We drove quite a ways. this
before
time.
I had to remind Bill, like, hey, do we have any direction here?
His baseball bat is covered in electrical tape. That's not a baseball playing bat.
He'll.
I don't know. Nonetheless, so we ended up in Brookfield, and there's this place called Fleming's, right? That we see from what is that, Blue Mound there?
Yeah, I think we saw it from Blue Mound.
We saw it from Blue Mound just as we passed the Square Mall there, and I'm like, hey, why don't we go in here and see what
Right.
this is? I
See
mean,
what it's about.
You know, and it says steaks, and oh, we're men, we love steak. So
And
let's
and
go.
you figure looking at it. Sorry to interrupt,
Oh, no, please.
but it's directly on the corner of Blue Mound and 124th. I think that is.
Yeah, or Mequon Road.
Or Mequon- no,
whatever.
no, I don't
not
know
Mequon.
Mequon.
What are they?
I think that is 124th.
Probably 124.
Or maybe further. It's past Sunny Slope. It's the one where Brookfield Square is.
Yeah, it's right on the corner across from that giant, gorgeous gas station there.
That BP.
That BP that has
Yeah.
the door on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I like that place. But yeah, so it's you're thinking maybe Fridays, but a little nicer. Is
Right.
Kind of the feel you
Right,
get from
right, right.
it's a mall parking lot restaurant. You don't expect the whole-
Exactly.
All right. Well, we were sorely mistaken.
Yeah.
Like
we
by
were.
a lot. Like I really wasn't appropriately dressed for this adventure. Dom was fine. He dresses.
I
very
was dressed
nicely.
nice for the show.
But yeah, see how good he looks? This is what I have to deal with every Monday. It's amazing. I love it. But, so we walk in, and the place is kind of empty, which I think might have been to our benefit.
But it's dimly lit,
dim lit, dark wood, red paint. Like
white cloth tables.
the girl at the counter was polite, but in that forced kind of way, like that 4-star forced politeness.
The 4-star force.
Yeah, and
That's good. That's good.
yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah.
And we needed a table for 2, and then she wanted my name for the table. Like she put my name on the table. Like there's just not like there's a line. Like we're waiting for 1,000 people to show up. I mean, the place could probably seat 160. Literally had like 20 people in there maybe, and 15 of those were at the bar. But so we sit down for our meal, right? And at this point, I'm thinking, well, it's a nice place, but still, it's a mall parking lot restaurant. Like,
Right.
How bad could it be? Well, then the menus came out with their.
I feel bad about the menus.
Don't. I actually
All right.
like I said then, like we were in it. Once you're down, you're in. Like we were there. But
Yeah.
I gotta say, this was a capitalist restaurant, if ever there were one.
Don't go unless you have a fresh paycheck.
Yeah, you're gonna want a paycheck on your way in and on your way out because you're still gonna have bills to pay when you're done there. But you won't mind so much once you're done eating. But,
Right.
Needless to say, I think the cheapest menu item that wasn't an appetizer or a salad was like $29. To give you an idea, just price range. So in the little Zaggett's Book of Our Life, that's like a $3 sign out of 4. This restaurant, which is fine. It is what it is. But we had a meal. Man, that was.
Yeah.
I had a $6 beer.
Oh yeah, you did.
I'm not gonna say what beer it was, but we'll just call it local domestic. It was $6 to give you an idea.
Local domestic light.
Light Vortex bottle. But
Yeah.
so $6 for that bad boy. But that's all right. It was delicious, fresh at least. Because it's only from 6 blocks away.
Yeah.
But we both got steaks. Dom got the New York strip straight up.
Yeah.
And what did we get? The appetizer? Oh no, we got the French onion.
The French
soup.
onion soup.
Oh,
That was pretty good.
Oh man, like I'm not saying it was a $10 bowl of soup, but it was a good $8 bowl of soup.
They had that sourdough bread that they kept coming
Oh,
out
I
with.
know. Oh my
That
God.
stuff.
Was it the bread or was it the butters? Because they had two different.
The two different
butter
butters,
things.
yeah.
What was it, like an onion chive butter?
And it's really orange, or not orange, like yellow, but it's really dark yellow butter.
Yeah, like a sun-dried tomato and dill or something.
I have
it
no
was.
idea.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was all
It was
about
a
that
sourdough
butter.
bread, yeah.
With that yeah, it was like an herb sourdough.
Herb sourdough bread, yeah.
Yeah, we ended up eating what, 4 of those?
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4 of those.
I was mad when he didn't keep bringing it. He gave us like 3 or 4. And
Well, he asked if we wanted more, and I kind of said no.
he said no.
I
want
said no.
more.
Tom would eat bread all day, but
Yeah.
he shouldn't. But
Probably not. Yeah.
and then I got the New York strip, but pepper crusted, which
Yeah.
For some reason was $2 less than Dom's steak. I realized after we got the bill, which is weird, but
I think it was on special.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was kind of off to the side, but when I say when he asked how I wanted my steak, right, and this is something I've never heard before, I said I wanted medium rare towards the rare side, because that's how I like my steak. And he, without missing a beat, the waiter, whose name I've forgotten now,
Yeah,
Thomas?
Michael? I have no idea.
it's not important.
Okay.
I mean, it is, but
It
know,
is.
We'll remember it literally the moment we turn off the recording.
I didn't pay attention. You'll remember it.
Yeah, well, he was so polite.
It was.
But
And thorough.
he actually said, "So you mean rare plus? Like that's a thing?" Like he didn't make that up on the fly, and I didn't ask. That's what it is. It's rare plus is what I wanted. So now, anyone who likes steaks the way I like steaks, order it rare plus. And if they don't know what you're talking about, you're at the wrong place. Because when I say that steak was perfectly cooked, I mean like there was no improvement could have been made on that steak when I got it. Like it was just like butter on my mouth.
Yeah.
With pepper.
I thought just about the same thing of my steak. And even cooking steak at home, it's not gonna get that good. It's not gonna get that thick. It's not gonna get that juicy either. I can't cook it.
That's the thing.
I can cook it like the way I like it, but yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no, please. It's just the steak. I'm not really doing a good job of describing it. It was an inch and a half or 2 inches thick. Like this is not
right.
Like you're not necessarily getting what you pay for, but you pay for what you get, and you got enough out of that. The dollars to food ratio was like 85%.
Yeah.
It was up there. It was good. I mean, that was a big hunk of meat.
It was a huge.
Probably 18 ounces.
Yeah.
Probably.
I would say 18 ounces,
Yeah.
at least 15.
Yeah, I mean it was a substantial piece of steak. I also got the wedge salad, which is a steakhouse
Oh yeah, you
classic.
did. You got the salad.
It's just a quarter of for anyone who doesn't know, it's a quarter of iceberg lettuce, covered in blue cheese crumbles, blue cheese cream, and then depending on where you are, it's just tomatoes and onions or tomatoes, onions, and bacon. They do it without the bacon, which I actually prefer.
You have the blue cheese.
I love the blue cheese.
Yeah.
So that blue cheese that they had on there too is just. It was all blue, no cheese, which is the part that's good. So it was.
Right. They look like spinach bits to me. I guess that's what blue cheese is supposed to look like.
Like ultimately, yeah.
I guess I never knew.
Yeah, I mean, and it was just. Well, you don't
Blue
get a
cheese
good
really
blue
is.
cheese most places. It's.
I guess not.
They give you the crumbly bits that look like feta, but like real
Right.
blue cheese should be blue, like more blue than cheese colored.
Huh.
And that's a rare thing. And then it was just a nice place. I mean, very well appointed. The waiter was wonderful. I really do wish I could remember his name. That won't happen. So why sit here silently? They have the little scraper to get the crumbs off the table.
Oh my God.
Which is a delight. I love that about nicer restaurants when they clean the crumbs up. But,
Comes up, yeah, right in front of you.
Right. It's, let me get that out of your way. And it's like I feel like a fool because I made this mess. And he's like, no worries, I've got it. I'm like a superhero with my razor blade of crumb gathering doom. So that was a very nice meal altogether. We didn't do any desserts. I don't think either one of us could have forced them down our throats.
No.
I kind of had to chant on Dom to finish his last 2 bites of steak.
Yeah.
But
no,
he got
I was comfortable. I'm just a slow eater.
Yeah,
oh, I'm
I
just a
suppose
slow
that's
eater
true.
though.
You are a very slow eater.
So.
Compared to me.
Yeah.
Eating is like an interruption to my day. I
Yeah.
think that's really half my problem. Is it's just like I have to eat, and it's not what I want to be doing.
Right. Like by the time you're hungry, you don't want to cook what's
Yeah.
actually in your house.
Yeah, it's just a pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and give 2 thumbs up to Fleming's Steakhouse.
Fleming's.
And I went to their website. They are a chain, but like one of those mini chains where there's like 15 of them.
Okay.
So if you ever get the chance, hit one. It's good.
Are they based in Milwaukee solely? or?
Based out of southern Wisconsin, so I would imagine
Okay.
Milwaukee, maybe Racine.
Most of our listeners probably.
Yeah,
southern
they can
Wisconsin.
find one. So
If you're in southeastern Wisconsin, go to Fleming's.
please do.
Okay.
Treat 'em right.
Here. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to.
Please do pardon him. Oh, he's wearing pinstripe pants.
I
didn't
am.
notice that earlier. It looks very nice.
Thank you.
Lengthen the leg.
Yeah. All right.
See, we got stuff and things.
We got 2 idiots running for the presidency.
Yeah, well, ain't that the truth?
Let's
expound on that.
Let's expound on that in a bit. I want to get to.
Oh, we're going on to Miami.
I want to get to Miami. Let's.
We're going after Geithner. What do you got? Come on.
I know. I got
It's all
so
in-
much.
it's all in your head.
I want to get to
know.
all of it.
I want it in my head.
Let's get to the local Senate race.
Okay, Hovde and them guys.
Yeah, Hovde. Okay, so for those of you not familiar, but again, I'm certain most of you are. For those of you not familiar, there's a Senate race going on in the state of Wisconsin right now. That's the race for governor, the recall race election, rather, might have been the most important election in the history of the state of Wisconsin.
If not the country. That's not true.
I don't know about the country, but it might have been the most important election in the state of Wisconsin because very few governors in the United States have been recalled. I think only 2 have been recalled successfully.
Yeah.
Many other officials have been recalled successfully, but Wisconsin's never had that.
Yeah.
And it was a reaffirmation of previously held beliefs that that the country did want to go to the right.
Yeah, which is where it stands in all polls almost. Constantly? That's not the word.
Or the state wanted to go to the right, I should say.
The state, yeah.
The state
country
wanted
is
to go.
31 to 26,
Right.
and then a bunch undecided. But
I stand corrected.
I just wanted to clarify.
No, I misspoke right there. But no matter, the guy won very popularly.
Very popularly with a better percentage.
But I don't
than
think.
Bernie won.
But recently, on Real Clear, Wisconsin leaned back to Obama. Missouri's leaned red.
Which is a thing.
I don't know if I've expected that, but I guess I would. Colorado is kind of evenly split. Virginia is kind of evenly split, too. It's going to come down to Ohio.
You think so?
Yeah.
They're going to put it in Ohio's hand.
Because I think Michigan's going to go blue.
I know people from Ohio. That scares me.
I think Michigan's going to go blue. I think New Hampshire could go red. I think it's going to go blue.
New Hampshire?
I think New Hampshire's going to go blue. I think Florida's going to go red.
Florida will go red. Especially if with the et cetera and the whatnotting in Miami. But that's later.
Yeah.
Because once that succeeds.
Yeah. They've got a law that will make it succeed automatically, which is interesting.
I'll be
But yeah.
curious to learn more.
So we've got that, but there's a story here from Miami. I want to get to the story right now. I'll break it. It's
Break
already
the
been
story.
broken.
No, it's not been broken here though.
Not been broken here, so we'll break it here.
We're breaking it on.
In Miami, the city government has imposed a state of financial crises, which Florida has a law that allows the city of Miami and probably other municipalities to unilaterally alter contracts of public sector workers.
Yeah.
This is the 4th in 4 years for their current mayor, Thomas Hidalgo. I know it's Thomas. I don't know the last name. I think it's Hidalgo.
I couldn't tell you offhand, but I might be able to find out momentarily.
Involves $40 million to cuts police, firefighters, and other public sector workers because their labor force actually the labor force payroll encompasses 80%
80%.
of the $485 million operating budget.
Yeah, that's roughly $360 million.
Yeah.
Of a 450.
So what else
What does
does
leave
that
you with?
other money go
Like,
to?
what is that? 140 million left over? Like
Yeah.
That's a rounding error in the federal budget. So, even if you bring it down to local level, that's a ridiculously small sum to cover everything else.
Yeah.
So,
I can see why they're in a state of financial crisis. Maybe they should rework their
Thomas Regalado.
Regalado. I said Hidalgo, it's Regalado. Thomas
close.
Regalado.
We'll call that a win.
It's his 4th in 4 years that he's done this
This very thing.
very thing.
And so is he?
They keep reelecting him.
Well, yeah, no, obviously. I mean, it must be working to some degree, or else I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Is he getting a little more?
Like, is he learning?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Apparently not.
Is he just? Is he hoping it's gonna work? And
It's not. Because when you have a budget that's set up to pay out 80%
yeah, no kidding.
of its profits to payroll, there's something wrong.
I couldn't even. I run a business.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
we know that if I was at 80% of my profits in payroll,
I'd
first
be
off,
making $30,000 a year.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have a job first off. Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
The first week that came up, that would be the end of my career in retail. But I mean, an 80% payroll budget doesn't work for. I mean, if you run your own business and you're the only person in it, you can't take 80% for payroll. I mean,
Yeah.
No, seriously. Like if
You cannot. No,
know,
you
like,
it has to be reinvested.
if I'm running an eBay store at home out of my bedroom, I don't get 80% of that money that I make. I get 5, maybe 4%. You know, that's at the high end. I mean, 2% is a little more reasonable. Like, and even that, I'm a little leery.
Yeah. How much would you say? And this is
Spitballing.
spitballing here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Would our company be for
Oh, and in our operating budget
For
our
payroll.
percentage. Oh, we're below 2%.
below 2?
Yeah, for sure, we're below 2. Hopefully, in the last 3 months, I've hedged it closer to 1.
Yeah.
You know, that time will tell. That's like a
Which is awesome.
that
I
is-
mean,
well, it's it's one of those things. When you run a business, there are a lot of costs involved. I mean, cost of product, cost of energy, cost of everything,
And
cost of payroll.
that's one of the things that you can most easily control
Yeah, I mean, you
as
can
a
control
manager.
your payroll. I can't control the cost of Snickers bars.
Right.
It is what it is. Maybe I can find it a quarter cheaper someplace, but it's always within that very small margin.
Uh-huh.
But if I just cut 20 hours, I cut 20 hours. That's a couple $100 a week that I can cut, which makes up for all those Snickers bars.
That's like thousands of dollars a week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge amount of money to be saved there. So the only downside is, of course, being salaried, which I am, is I got to make up those hours myself. So don't ever go salary. People. Don't if you don't have to. Don't unless it's your own business, in which case do it. But
Yeah.
when you sit down, you actually work out your hourly for how much time you put in versus what you get paid in a week. You're making less than minimum wage at salary. At least in a lot of cases, not just me, but friends I have who are salaried managers elsewhere. Like they're all
What about your friend at the bank?
at the bank. He is a man apart. He's a one-off. He benefits from years and years in the financial industry. So he owns more than one property. He owns other
really?
businesses that help to pay.
Okay.
He's pretty broadly diversified across where his money's coming from. Not
Okay.
always. I don't think I'm exposing anything here. He owns a resort up on the Wolf River for fishing resort.
Okay.
They're open in the summer. You rent a cabin, you go fishing for 3 days, this kind of thing. They do phenomenally well with that in good years, and phenomenally bad in bad years because it's a huge property. You got to pay taxes on it, and if no one's fishing or there's no fish running, it's like any other business. There's boom and bust cycles. So,
Right.
But he also benefits in that, though, in that the town that he's in is giving him the opportunity to divvy up those parcels, which means he could conceivably sell off 1 or 2 of those cabins to cover the running costs for a couple of years on the rest of them
Oh,
until a boom cycle.
like rent it out or like
Cut it and sell it.
Just sell it?
as its own property.
where is this?
It's north. I'm not gonna expose the whole thing.
Okay.
Like that, but
I'll talk about it after because I might
Yeah.
want to go there.
it's a nice little spot.
You
So,
been there?
Yeah, a couple times.
Nice.
I've actually slept there for his bachelor
Really?
party.
Oh.
What an awkward time that was. Please don't invite me to your bachelor parties, folks, if you can avoid it. I'm terrible at parties.
Closer to the mic.
Am I not close enough to my?
Yeah. No.
This whole setup on this side is getting kind of.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I can hear you really well now.
Can maybe?
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with. Don't mess with that, because if that comes unhooked, Brendan O'Day will come flying through the
Yeah.
window and will flying kick both of us in the face.
So, I think we might get to all these stories today.
We're doing pretty good.
Let's go to the local Senate race.
Let's do that.
So I was getting to this before actually. So in Wisconsin, there's a Senate race. There's a Republican primary going on,
Yes.
and there's a local journalist who's his name I won't say, but he refers to all these gentlemen as titans of the Republican Party in the state of Wisconsin, and undoubtedly so.
That's a pretty bold assertion.
Titans is a good
Titans
assertion.
is a very solid assertion.
It's a very solid assertion for
I've
these.
met some Titans in my time. I can only imagine.
Well, we'll start at the bottom in spending for per campaign,
Okay. All right.
and so that would be Jeff Fitzgerald. Jeff Fitzgerald is the only one. He's currently the Speaker of the Assembly. in the state of Wisconsin.
So he's got a little name recognition going for him.
And he's the only one that's held office in the last year. So he's very familiar with the state of Wisconsin and the local politics and the climate of local politics. Not only that,
Not only that.
but everybody in this campaign is trying to, since Walker is the biggest name in Republican politics in the state of Wisconsin right now,
Yes.
everybody is trying to attach themselves, their name, to Walker's name somehow.
They want to be a party.
Right. All four candidates are doing it. It's
Yeah.
it might come down to who's the bigger Walker Republican.
Well, and maybe I've missed it, but has Walker come out in favor of any of these men?
He's no.
No. Okay, I was just making sure that was.
He's gonna endorse whoever gets the candidacy, but he said that he'll endorse whoever gets the candidacy,
But he's not getting involved in this
no,
little piddly stuff.
not
Okay,
at all.
That's to his advantage.
Jeff Fitzgerald would be the Walker Republican out of all of them, since he's the one that, like the sign said, stood with Walker during the election
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
and during the campaigning and all this. The Fitzgerald brothers are very popular. One is the leader in the Senate. One is the Assembly Speaker. Jeff and Scott Fitzgerald.
Jeff and Scott, yeah, together. Brothers Fitzgerald.
Right. They pretty much run Wisconsin, almost.
They're like the Koch brothers for
Right.
Wisconsin. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to say it again. They're the Koch brothers of Wisconsin. How do you like that? Without the money. Or
Yeah.
the hyper-conservative
Very,
values.
very much on a smaller budget than
And
the Koch brothers.
And they're actually involved in
In
the whole thing.
the
not just-
machine.
yeah. Unlike the Koch brothers, who are just two rich guys that
Right.
don't care for liberalism.
The second candidate, I guess. Well, he's almost the least popular, but he's the one that everybody's dropped so far from their consideration. But he's got very strong libertarian endorsements. He's got endorsements from Jim DeMint from South Carolina and Rand Paul, Ron Paul's son,
Rand Paul.
from Kentucky, who are big names in the Libertarian Party. And the Club for Growth, the federal, there's two branches of the Club for Growth. Well, there are multiple branches, I should say. There's a federal level, a national level. There's a Wisconsin level, too.
Yeah.
The Club for Growth National has endorsed Mark Newman.
Mark Newman. That's the guy with the name that we know.
Newman has held seats in this state. He held Paul Ryan's seat before 2010 in the 1st Congressional District of Wisconsin. But I guess he kind of attacked Walker during the campaign. He campaigned against Walker for the initial election.
Well, he was
Right,
trying to win.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a perennial candidate. Is really my take on it. 'Cause as I said, I think the last time we were here, that in the 11 years I've lived in Wisconsin, I've always seen his name on a poster in
Yeah.
someone's front yard. I mean, without fail. So he's just he's always running for something. Apparently, that's how he gets his kicks.
right.
But
Sometimes he wins, sometimes not.
yeah, all in the effort.
Right. So there's a big name, and he's, I guess, people are afraid that he'll give in to the left, which he won't. He's huge, firm on his stance. You know,
Is he?
big, in a firm stance kind of way. Not so much with the compromise.
Yeah, see, I guess I could understand people's concern though, because, and touching back on it a little bit, like he has run for everything, everywhere for all this time. There is a sense, at least for me, thinking about it.
Well, he's held office too, though.
Well, yeah, but that with all that running and trying, and going and doing, there's an opportunity there for compromise.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I hear you.
you lose twice, you want to win that third one, you'll do what you got to do. And even though he's won some and he's lost some, I would be concerned that to maintain, he would want to
Right.
cross the aisle a little too far. Not to say that I'm against compromise, but compromise isn't a party. So
Yeah.
it's gotta have principles.
And he certainly does. The third candidate.
Is this the guy whose name I love?
Yeah.
Hovde.
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 Or
love that
Hovde is how other people are saying it. Hovde now.
I've never actually heard him say it, so I have no idea. I'm gonna wait until I hear that before I start calling him by the right name because I can't abide that.
He's contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Republican Party over the years.
Even more, I think I was reading. He's like $500,000 or something.
But one time he contributed $500 to Jim Doyle's campaign.
Well, did he know he was doing that?
No, he did.
Oh, all right.
But apparently people were on his back and wouldn't get off his back about running his business, apparently.
Really?
From the Doyle campaign, is what I heard. So he kicked him $500
to shut him up.
to shut him up.
Yeah, that's campaigning.
That's campaigning.
Yeah.
And if you're in politics, you got to give a little bit to either party every now and then, or else you're not going to get anything done.
Well, it's kind of like when you look at big corporate donors to national politics. You know, AT&T was the #1 donor to the, and I'm just spitballing here. This is all arbitrary. You know, AT&T is the #1 donor to the Republican Party, and the #2 donor to the Democrat Party. Like that's just
Right.
That's how they play. They got to have favors on both sides because no matter who's in charge, they still need to get things done. So
Right.
you know who you're sending money to is a lot less important than who you're standing next to on the podium.
You think?
I think so. I'm comfortable saying that. I'm very comfortable saying that.
Okay.
I mean, I've given money to Greenpeace before they went off the rails. You'll never get me to admit it again, but now I've got to archive. But I've done it, you know, and I regret it now. But at the time,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to stand up there with them when they're attacking sailing ships for regattas and whatnot. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Getting off topic.
Right.
Hovde.
Hovde is a guy who almost reflects Mitt Romney to a T in this election because he's a businessman, he's wealthy, he's never
Very
been in
wealthy.
politics before, so he has the advantage of people can't really say anything about his record in voting
Yeah, exactly.
because he's making his own record right now.
He's what he is he is a perfect candidate.
You think?
He's a blank slate in that regard,
He has a blank slate,
which is really kind of nice.
and
That helps to bring Brendan O'Day. It's nice for people who are undecided but of a party. You know, people say in the Republican Party who are unsure, they can write the story on the Hovde. Kind of like what everyone did, and you know, and it sounds kind of trite now, years later, but like everyone did with Barack Obama, you write your story onto him, and now
Right.
he's your guy because it fits.
right,
It swings both ways. It's not just the kid who worked real hard and made his way. It works all the way down to, you know, you're really successful. I want to be too, so I can relate. 'Cause
Right.
it's, you know, and that's a real force. That's a real factor.
you think Romney's gonna have that kind of following?
I was talking about Hovde, but
Yeah, you think Hovde's gonna have that kind of? I don't know.
I think
'cause
Hovde could pull that off.
he was kind of in the back though. He was the guy that nobody saw.
You know, I'm always with the dark horses in these things because I'm also a little tired of the Republican Party and their let's throw 36 candidates at the wall and see who sticks.
Yeah.
They really need to, because for all the faults and disagreements I have with the Democratic Party,
Mhm.
at least they can pick a candidate. You know,
Yeah.
they got one guy and they're going with it. You know, and that's or two guys and you know who
It's
which one of the two.
it's a woman actually. But
well,
yeah, no, I get the
you know,
idea.
like, it's,
right.
It's not a big.
No, we're being PC here.
Yeah, not this guy. We read our disclaimer. Screw you.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
no, it's just
We
you know
do.
I feel like you can. I lost my train of thought again.
Be a part of a party without being a part of a party.
Well, there's that, but this shotgun approach to picking a candidate is just if there's one.
They're hard candidates to pick.
But they gotta pick them, like, and that's there's like this.
Well, the people have to pick 'em.
Yeah, the people had to pick them, but it's almost like a high school popularity contest, and it's a little tiresome.
Mhm.
I'm 33 years old as of like 5 days ago. I don't care anymore who's the
Your
most
birthday, pal.
popular.
Yeah.
I want the people that are in there to want to work, to want to do the job,
Right.
to have some idea of what their principles are going in, even if I disagree with those principles.
Right.
So
Now Hovde is that's what he came from nowhere. He came from the back. Now he's got a lot of money. He's throwing a lot of money at this campaign. A lot of people are saying, "Guy came in the gas station the other day. Guy came in the gas station with an Eric Hovde shirt."
how unlikely.
I know. I
Yeah.
talked to him about it. I actually stayed. James was at the register. I told her to get out, take a break for a second.
Agreed.
She agreed.
Not surprised.
Well, she just started, so I was like,
Alright.
well, yeah, let me take this guy. And then she was ready to get back on. I was like, wait, I want to take this guy. I want to talk to him about his Hovde choice
His hobby.
because I want to know why he chose Hovde.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
He didn't say. He said I'm on board. So
Well, some people are also, and I don't know, maybe because of the people I've surrounded myself with, Dominic here and the Newman and
right,
Theron and everyone else that I know, like we're all very open about our politics. There are still people who are so closed off about why they're voting, how they're voting, who they're voting, when they're voting. It's very
right.
They take it all very personally and very privately. I'm used to it being a little more open than that. But
The last name that we got on the ticket is probably the biggest name in the history of the Republican Party of Wisconsin. Tommy Thompson is
wait, who? I never heard of him before. What is his name? Tommy Tom?
Thomas
Thomas?
Thompson
Thomas Thompson. Well, that's just a weird name.
running for
Dr. Seuss.
the
candidate.
U.S. Senate. I don't even have anything else to say because
Yeah, I think
everybody
that
knows
pretty well
everything about
covers
him.
it, yeah.
Even beatability. That the seat that is being vacated is Herb Kohl's seat. Before that,
Yes.
I don't remember the senator before that, honestly. But for decades, that seat I know has, for a fact, been a Democratic seat.
Well, and this is the thing. It's the people's seat. We learned this out in Massachusetts. It's not Ted Kennedy's seat. It's the people's seat. And that's,
Perhaps.
No, not perhaps. It's the facts. It's the people's seat.
But you're
They'll
going to have
decide.
to beat Tammy Baldwin.
Who?
Tammy Baldwin. She's big in the Democratic Party.
Okay, because she sounds like a televangelist wife. So I don't think anyone's voting for her. And that's all we got to do is saddle her with that, and we're good. Oh, that was classic.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe the people of Wisconsin will vote for her, though. Even though we're mostly red.
Yeah.
We've got 8 congressional seats in the state of Wisconsin. We've got 8 seats in the House. 5 of them are red.
Yeah. There's 2 dogs getting ready to fight over here.
No. Anyway,
This guy can't seem to handle them.
so we're a very red state, but that seat's been Democratic for decades, and I think people may want vengeance for this Walker thing.
They might, but you also have to get them motivated to get out there to vote,
Yeah, obviously the undecideds are gonna decide the election.
as always.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate thing. And with the way polling has been trending, the way things have been going, they might just be annoyed enough with the Democrats and the Liberal Party to spite vote for Republicans.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Maybe it's a spite vote for the Democrats.
It's,
Out of spite for Walker. Yeah.
well, I don't know. Walker's reforms are beginning to work. So
Yeah.
if they're going to spite him, they should spite him when he sucks, not when he's winning.
That's a good quote from a local journalist. The One. Let's just call him the One,
The one.
even though that's my nickname. Anyway, he says that's the greatest thing about being Republican is if you wait long enough, you'll be proved right.
And it's so true. It's so true. What a
So,
phenomenal thing.
yeah. Anyway, so maybe we won't get to QE3 and Geithner. Maybe we'll get to that next time. But we've got about 8 minutes. Let's wrap this up. We've got 2 idiots
2 idiots
running
running.
for the presidential seat of the United States of America.
How exciting is that?
We got one going to our sister country. Let's just call it our sister country. I mean, or maybe our father country or mother country.
Mother country.
Yeah,
once upon a
let's
time.
go with mother country. Yeah. Going to the Olympics. It's saying, "Are you guys ready? Can
but you know-
you handle it?"
You know about that though? If you read the Olympics coverage in the last 3 days, they weren't ready. They can't handle it. So it's really
Well,
they have strange people.
but to
walking
say
out.
that, you're on message.
Well, you're on message. It's true, but as a Republican, he just had to wait long enough to be proven right. And turns out
Perhaps.
the Brits weren't ready.
Yeah.
They are not prepared. This is a terrible Olympics.
Really, is it?
They've screwed up like 10 different things that are important. Half of the events, half of the people will never see the torch because of the way that they have it buried in the ground.
Oh.
So no one can see the torch, the Olympic symbol of the fire burning. isn't available. There will be people who are competing in the Olympics, Olympians, who will go, compete, win, come home, and never have seen the torch. There are
Wow.
thousands of empty seats because they sold these seats to VIPs and corporate interests, and those guys aren't showing up. They just want to have the seats so they can say they got them. So regular, everyday people who wanted to sit in the stands couldn't get tickets because they were already pre-sold. Thousands of empty seats on the first day.
Yeah. Well, some of those events aren't shown to the public, though. They just aren't.
Yeah, but we're talking about events that are shown to the public.
Like archery?
Like
That's not shown to
not
the public.
archery, no. Like
Okay.
gymnastics,
Okay.
swimming.
Got it.
Like events people love and want to see.
Yeah.
There were empty seats for. They've had security issues during the Indians' entrance. There was some random woman just wandering around waving with them as the Indian gas stations, not casinos, Indians.
Got it.
Or woman just walked out in the crowd with them, waving like she's an Olympian, just wearing a pair of red pants and a green shirt.
Huh.
She didn't belong there. You know, maybe Mitt shouldn't have said it, but someone needed to. And I think we were talking about this the other night. If someone's going to say it, the guy who turned an Olympics around from a negative to a positive is the one you want saying it. He's run, not like he was just the guy. He ran the Olympics, the Winter Olympics.
The Londoners had something about that, though, to say that it's a lot different to run an Olympics in Salt Lake City, which is a city that nobody wants to go to, and it's in the middle of nowhere, than running it in a metropolis.
And then turning it into an 80% profit. Might be a city nobody wants to go to, but he made it profitable.
Right.
They've.
But it's not crowded. It's not like a crowded layout, though. Is I guess what they're saying. The layout of the city of Salt Lake City is probably easier to park in. You know.
But London's a lot easier than Beijing.
True.
By roughly 600 million people. So.
Got it.
You know what, Londoners, just stuff it. Chinese did it. And granted, they can do whatever they want because their people are brainwashed, but
right.
So are the Londoners. They accept having 80% of the CCTV cameras in the world watching their every move.
Yeah.
Which has actually increased with the Olympics.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they actually took the opportunity with the Olympics to install, I think it was something like 16,000 more cameras. Smart
just
cameras.
around the city of London.
Just around the city of London. These are cameras that can track you automatically by facial feature. Like the ones that you see in the TV shows, and you're like, that's not real. Those things are real, and they're in London. If you want to go check out how a camera can track you by face, go to
That
London,
is scary,
do
man.
something.
That is scary.
Yeah, do something naughty on the south side of London, go to the north side, and then watch the video that they feed you. Because those cameras watch you out. There's no man watching you and tracking you. Those cameras do it on their own now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what they did with their London Olympics money.
Sweet.
Not to mention the 100,000 troops from Afghanistan that they've taking tickets at the front door. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, my God.
We're going to need a waterproof camera for something.
This is so good.
Can I pee on that?
Brendan O'Day just brought in a waterproof camera.
For some reason.
It's a new camera. And I think it's going to be...
He's got two of them.
It might be the show's camera from now on, which is great, because I look like I'm in a fish tank right now. No? Oh, unfortunately. Well,
we'll find out after
we'll
the show
find a new camera.
I'll bring it. I got a credit card for Best Buy. I don't use for anything but CDs, which no one listens to, and now I download it legally on the
CDs are obsolete tech. They're so obsolete.
They're good when they're blank. And you can put all your burned
that's
music
okay.
on it.
All right, so we got one idiot running for the presidency, going across seas, alienating our former mother country, being proven right, maybe, perhaps in the future.
Mostly.
But then we've got another idiot saying some other idiotic, stupid thing.
I don't know. You didn't build that, Dom.
Yeah. So we got this other idiot. We didn't cover this last week because last week was the 23rd. We would have covered it the 16th, but we were absent the 16th. This was quoted on the 13th. We're absent on the 16th.
But it's still a news story.
And by the 23rd, there was the shooting, so we had to cover that.
That was a lot more important.
And so this would have been covered immediately had that shooting not taken place. The President of the United States of America saying, no, you didn't build that.
You didn't build that.
What is he going to be remembered for? John F. Kennedy is going to be remembered for ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Yeah.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt's going to be remembered for we have nothing to fear but fear itself. President Barack Obama is going to be remembered for you didn't build that.
Yeah. That's going to look great on the bust that Great Britain returns to us of Barack Obama. Once
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was, he should stay on teleprompter in those instances. his campaign actually came out and said that he wasn't going to rely on his teleprompter as much. That was there's so much going on with technology. Change? I don't know what you're doing, Mr. O, but
I fear change. That's a well-known fact.
he fears change. I love technology. The two of us, we go nowhere and find nothing.
But okay, so we got this guy saying you didn't build that, which is the implication is that the government helped you along the way.
The government made that for you. And
Now, granted,
okay, they might have put the roads in. All right, they might have been there when it was time.
yeah,
to
but guess where that
taxes,
money came from? The taxpayers.
who were working in businesses that they built before there were roads.
Right.
So, it was a foolish remark, and unfortunately for him, he's the president of the United States.
Unfortunately
so-
for all of us,
So
he's the president of the United
everybody
States.
was listening. And,
Yeah.
And then his campaign to come out and say that it was taken out of context. Because originally, the Republicans were doing a nice job of just using that soundbite
Right.
as a stick to beat him with. And then they said, well, it was taken out of context. So the Republicans
Well,
were like,
play
"Do
the
you
whole
really-"
soundbite.
Yeah, well, that's what they said.
Yeah.
They're like, do you really want to play this game? So they pulled the whole soundbite. And once you put it in context, it's even worse because he calls you stupid and lazy and says you didn't build that.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Let's be fair here. Let's be fair to the history of capitalism.
you built that.
John D. Rockefeller
He built that.
is a guy who today would be worth, like by today's standards, probably about 10 to 20 times what Bill Gates would be worth.
Oh, easily.
John D. Rockefeller was famously wealthy. Carnegie, too. John D. Rockefeller and Carnegie did. No?
No.
John D. Rockefeller and Andrew Carnegie did, in fact, in their lifetime, get huge subsidies and grants from the government. Well, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Well, just to be kind of fair to the history of capitalism. But all money that exists in the Treasury of the United States originates, well, probably from the Federal Reserve because they print the money.
Well, ultimately.
I mean,
But that's not really money. Those are just IOUs that have pictures of presidents on them. So.
right. It originates in the private sector.
Yes, all money comes from the private
And
sector.
all money is coming from taxes
Government doesn't
or
make
penalties.
money. Government does not make money. It takes money. That's
That's the mantra, and that's pretty much the fact.
a fact. Yeah, that's not a made up thing that I'm
Yeah.
just saying because I'm a fiscal conservative. That's the truth.
So,
But yeah, we're getting down to our last couple minutes.
we are getting
here.
down to our last couple minutes. So,
Right.
we got these two idiots running for president. So,
So write me
screw
in.
it.
You
Write
know,
us in.
Write us in. Bill and Dom for president, vice president. We'll fix this shit in 3 months or less. And we'll go from there.
From there, we're going to say, hey, goodbye. Hey, how are you doing? Sorry I couldn't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number, and I'll get back to you. It's a De La Soul quote. Until next time, we're out.
True story.